Did you know that breaking up changes your relationship with your ex? I know, duh, obviously it does. The two of you are no longer in a relationship. But there are other subtle changes that many people don't think about that will affect how you interact with your ex. And it's important to understand these changes if you're trying to get your ex back. Hey guys, I'm of course Brad Browning, author of The X Factor and breakup expert on YouTube for over 10 years now. And during my time as a breakup coach, I've seen this pattern crop up again and again, so I wanted to make a video outlining some of the changes that a breakup brings and how you should treat your ex if you do want to win them back. Now, this video is not just about how your ex feels about you in the relationship. It's also about how the breakup has actually affected you as well. I just want you to know that this is a normal part of breaking up and that you shouldn't have any shame around these feelings or try to change them. And you also shouldn't be angry at your ex for how they're feeling. This new dynamic is not something that you can't completely erase, but you do need to be aware of it if you want to maximize your chances. So let's dive into it. Number one is that you have new and different boundaries. Many people run into trouble with their exes because they try to treat them the same way they did when they were still together. Now, this is only natural, especially if you want them back. You may just want to pretend like the breakup never happened, or you think that if you can just make the time together feel like it did in the past, then it's going to show them that you can still be together in the same way. But unfortunately, this doesn't work because you two have new boundaries that were brought on by the breakup. And as much as you don't want to admit it, you're no longer a couple. You hopefully still don't live together. You don't talk all the time, and you don't share your lives the way that you used to. You put up walls the second that one of you decided to end the relationship. And this is what makes you exes. And these walls protect you both from further heartbreak and give you room to heal. So you can no longer show them affection in the same way, even if you want to, because you're protecting yourself. Now, this is a very sad realization, but it comes with benefits as well. You no longer need to feel responsible for their happiness. And imagine how difficult this breakup would be if you still needed to be present and give your ex all the same things that you did when you were in a relationship. It would be almost impossible. So recognize these boundaries and don't cross them if you want your ex back. So don't call them by pet names or try to touch them. Don't send them messages in the middle of the night, and don't pour your heart out to them. Crossing boundaries like this sets off alarm bells in your ex's mind because it shows them that you don't respect their decision to break up and you don't respect their autonomy. So respect their boundaries and you're going to make your ex more comfortable. Obviously, navigating this new dynamic is difficult for just about anybody. And if you would like some extra help, consider signing up for my one-on-one coaching over at breakupbrad.com/coaching. When you sign up, I'll work with you directly, listen to your story, and we'll create a personalized program to win your ex back faster than you can possibly imagine. Again, you can get all the details and sign up today at breakupbrad.com/coaching. Now let's move on to number two. You both hold resentment. So really, no matter how smoothly you think your breakup went, both of you hold resentment towards one another, at least on some level. Odds are that resentment contributed to the breakup in the first place, and there's a good chance that one or both of you said some things during the breakup that caused hurt feelings. And of course, you're probably feeling the most resentment of all because in most situations, you're the one that's been dumped. And within a relationship, resentment is offset by all the love and affection that you give to one another. And you can also communicate to clear away these negative feelings. But now that that's all gone, you're left to stew in this kind of resentment with no positive outlet. And this can affect how you treat one another on a subconscious level. Maybe you want a little payback. You're looking to level the playing field, so you're a little bit rude when you talk to your ex. Maybe you talk bad about them to a mutual friend. And these are subtle actions, but it's important to be aware of them and where they come from. So don't let the resentment that you feel dictate how you treat your ex. Remember that getting your ex back and getting even with them are two competing interests and that you need to let one of them go. And now number three, you have something to prove. So one thing that's lost after a breakup is equality. Sure, every relationship has a different power dynamic, but a good relationship is fairly equal. But when your ex decided to reject your love by breaking up with you, they destroyed that equality. And now, whether you know it or not, you've become the underdog in the situation simply because you've been rejected. This is an unavoidable consequence of a breakup, and it can make it difficult to reconcile because it will affect how you treat one another. And because you feel like you have to win back your ex's love and their esteem, you might find yourself acting in ways that are only going to make things worse. Some people respond by treating their ex poorly in order to try to convince themselves that they're the better person. Others will try to treat their ex too well in order to show them that they really can make them happy. And these are natural responses to being dumped, but they're both going to create tension between you and your ex. Now, if you're wondering where you stand in your ex's eyes, try my free quiz tool over at breakupbrad.com/quiz. Just answer a few questions and find out what chance you have of getting your ex back. It takes less than 5 minutes and it's completely free. And again, you can take that at breakupbrad.com/quiz. And now number four, you're nervous around one another. So think back to when you first met. How nervous you were? Well, these nerves have returned, but in a very different way. Now that you've broken up, the two of you are confused about how to treat one another. On one hand, you have all this history and there's clearly still love and affection there. But on the other hand, you've lost that connection that you once had, and you're full of this kind of resentment and confusion that we talked about. So now when you see one another, you'll find that you may be stumbling over your words and overanalyzing everything you do and say. And this can really impact the process of getting back together, because that ease of communication is one of the best parts of a relationship. And now that it's gone, you're going to struggle to make that connection, and your ex is going to be less inclined to take you back. So just don't be nervous. No, I'm just kidding. I know it's not that easy, but just be aware that this is normal and that your ex probably feels just as nervous as you do. And as time goes on, these nerves will fade away and you'll be able to recapture some of that old magic. And number 5, your priorities have changed. Breaking up can create a seismic shift in your priorities almost overnight. You no longer have to prioritize this other person in your decisions moving forward. Sure, you don't want to do anything that would hurt them, but you also don't have to make space in your life for them. You can make decisions that they wouldn't approve of. You can stay out all night with your friends, you can change your appearance, and you can basically do whatever you want. And this new freedom is great, but it also means that you and your ex will be making decisions that will take you further away from each other. And as much as you might like to stop this from happening, unfortunately, for the most part, it's totally out of your control. All you can do is keep moving forward and hope that when the time comes to reconnect, that you two haven't diverged too dramatically. Luckily, short of one of you moving to another continent, it's pretty rare that you'll be changing too much to be able to reconcile things. You also may be tempted to keep putting their feelings first in all of your decisions if you want them back. And this does make sense on paper, but you need to learn to start putting yourself first if you're going to have any chance. Because if you don't, your ex is going to realize what you're doing and feel pressured to do the same. And even if they don't notice, by continuing to live for them rather than for yourself, you'll fail to rebuild the confidence that you lost when the relationship ended. So I advise you to really get out there and live your life. Get your mind off your ex and make decisions to make yourself happy and fulfilled. Take back your life and actually live it. So these are the ways that breaking up has changed your relationship with your ex. Hopefully you've seen that while there are a lot of sad things on this list, there's also some happy things as well. And in fact, shaking up your relationship in this way, while it can be painful, can also be a welcome change in the long run. It can show you and your partner new things about each other and change how you interact in a powerful way. Just make sure that you're aware of all these factors going forward, because they are going to affect how you and your ex treat one another, and this knowledge can make all the difference. But what if there was a way to make all this easier? Well, it turns out that there is. One of the best ways to combat some of these changes that I've talked about here in this video is with the period of no contact. So if you've seen any of my other videos, you already know what this is all about. If not, look at the links down below in the description for more information on no contact. Basically, it's about taking 30 days after a breakup where you don't speak to your ex or communicate with them in any way. And this, of course, helps you reset your own feelings and get out of the negative headspace that you've been in. But more importantly, it also makes your ex miss you a lot, which goes a long way into bringing back that equality that you've lost. And it gives you time, to improve yourself and to process what went wrong. And if you can make it a full 30 days without communicating with your ex, you'll find that a lot of these negative feelings have started to fade away. And once that 30-day process is over, then you can begin to reach out to your ex and start to reconnect. And when you do, make sure that you create a new, different relationship that's informed by this time apart rather than being defined by the same old problems that led to the breakup in the first place. Thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to click like and subscribe to my channel for brand new videos like this one every single week. Thanks again for watching. Bye for now.